Power Rangers, Halloween, two great tastes that go great together. Let's go. Power Rangers has been around most of my life, and like many people, I would catch the occasional episode on TV. Kids did some karate and a monster grew big. I didn't know it was a Japanese show pasted together with American footage. I didn't even notice that Rita Repulsa was dubbed. I just thought she was funny. The Bulk and Skull theme was forever burned into my brain. But while Power Rangers was a ubiquitous presence in the 90s, I can't say I followed it too closely. It was the odd episode of Mighty Morphin, and then later confusion that it was still on and now there were wizards or something. Anyway, this is all to say that within the last year, I've had a Power Rangers explosion! And now I'm in the middle of in space. I know even more and even less than when I started. And I'll tell you this, they have a formula. The series has taken on many evolutions. There have been highs and lows. From the fantastic Mighty Morphin movie, to Bulk and Skull as monkeys, to long-form storytelling with some dramatic flair and in space, to Rocky totally biffing it out of the franchise. The insufferable ninja outfit period. Anyway, I'm getting off track. In my opinion, Power Rangers was at its best at the very beginning. When the fact they didn't know what they were doing had charm, the monsters were silly, the characterizations were broad, and the teens with not that much of an attitude actually were always doing some after-school special project. Things just sort of happened to try and make the clips fit. I loved that it was completely strange and anything was possible. It's a delightful world similar to our own, but slightly off in many ways, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And one favorite story of mine was the late Season 1 episode, Trick or Treat. Power Rangers did several Halloween specials, but this one is a classic. Hey, remember this meme?
Welcome to my pumpkin patch! Perhaps you'd like to play some catch!
Yes, 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 yes. Give me that wrapping pumpkin. I can taste the candy and feel the crisp autumn breeze. All Hallows Eve is truly upon us. But did you know there's also an episode around this guy? And it doesn't get any less bizarre from here, starting with the fact this special aired in May. Anyway, trick or treat!
Trick or treat, guys.
Kimberly is doing gymnastics in the juice bar / gymnasium / cafeteria / whatever the hell, while Tommy and Trini pick at a table of bell peppers with disinterest. By now we are less than 30 seconds into the episode, and Kimberly reveals she has been selected as a contestant on the game show Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat? Isn't that like the most popular game show in America?
Trick or Treat? Isn't that like the most popular game show in America?
While I would watch the hell out of a Halloween-themed game show, it does sort of seem like a niche topic to air year-round, let alone be the most popular game show in America. Bigger than Jeopardy? Wheel of Fortune? Price is Right? Amateur shows! I'm watching Trick or Treat. And I guess if the Power Rangers Halloween special can air in May, people are down with Trick or Treat winter, spring, summer, or fall. Kimberly invites her friends to come to the show, but unfortunately, overrated goober Tommy has a karate match he can't miss. It's surprising how often their after-school activities don't conflict with each other and their monster-fighting alter egos, to be honest. And who will Kimberly be competing against on Trick or Treat? None other than Skull. Kimberly seems appalled at this discovery, but Bulk and Skull combined don't really have a brain between them, so I don't really see the downside to this. Well, they've been standing next to some food for 20 seconds and haven't fallen into it yet. Better fix that. Meanwhile, Rita, watching this exchange, has just given her a wonderful idea.
Those posers just gave me a wonderful idea.
Yes, my queen, I have the same idea. Unleash the pumpkin wrapper.
Yeah. Time for the most popular game show in America. Their contestants are two random high schoolers, and there's an audience of 20. Well, everything adds up to me. Power Rangers has $2 to spend on any given episode, so I don't see why they shouldn't claim, for no reason, that this is the most popular game show in America and can somehow afford a new car as a prize, instead of, I don't know, saying the high school is having a Halloween-themed trivia contest. Dracula host, yes! The main part of the game show works as such. The contestants ask Dracula questions in an attempt to trick him, which earn them pumpkin points. Whoever has the most by the end of the show wins. There doesn't seem to be any particular rule about what kinds of questions they can ask, so they could just ask him something personal that he'd have no way of knowing, I guess, which is what they do, but look, honestly, pun intended, Drac, but this sucks.
can you tell me the identity of the Power Rangers?
Why would she ask that? Also, I love that they clearly intended to have a shot of this new car there, but they couldn't get it in there, so Skull is just pointing at nothing. Meanwhile, what? Oh, I guess by karate match, Tommy actually meant he needed to go wandering around in a field full of rotting pumpkins for no reason.
I wonder where all these rotten pumpkins came from.
Smoke was rising from the area, which is supposed to be from the rotting pumpkins, but pumpkins don't produce smoke. Although rotting vegetables produce ethylene gas, said gas is in fact completely transparent. Oh yeah, you wouldn't want the Green Ranger knowing about rotting pumpkins in a field. Better send your guys after him to make sure it's obvious it's some scheme of yours. Meanwhile, what the hell is happening on this game show? Wait, they don't even tell us what that was. Just the next time we cut back, Kimberly has won 3 more pumpkin points? The only thing we see in this whole episode that seems like a legitimate game is when Skull has to climb a giant spider web to grab bugs. Otherwise, this is all confusing at best. And like, is the audience just sitting by ladders and scaffolding? Tommy better call in Zordon after that vicious pumpkin patch attack. He'll know what to do.
Zordon, I think Rita's up to her old tricks.
Your suspicions are correct, Tommy. But go on to your karate match.
Zordon, you idiot! Is that Tsunami from WMAC Masters? Oh, what the hell? Zordon and Alpha are just watching the game show? No wonder Rita Repulsa was around so long. It's Dum-Dums versus Dum-Dums. Hey, things are looking pretty fakey out there in the Japanese footage. Is Pumpkin Rapper on the way? The Power Rangers should probably get on top of that pumpkin situation, I guess. Kimberly has to fake fainting to get out of this game show, but Tommy can just do his karate tournament? I see how it is.
She seems to have experienced a slight cardiac infarction.
What?
A slight cardiac infarction.
When the biggest of them ripens, it will turn into Rita's newest creation, Pumpkin Rapper.
What? If it's her newest creation, how could he possibly know this? I mean, I know it's the obvious conclusion that a bunch of rotting pumpkins will transform into a rapping pumpkin monster, but I just don't know how an interdimensional being caught in a time warp gets his information.
Morphin time!
Okay, you were told specifically that the pumpkins were gonna zap onto your head to suffocate you, and what do? Come on, guys, this is embarrassing. If Kimberly hadn't wandered over off screen for a little bit, Rita wouldn't have even needed the pumpkin wrapper. But you know who does need the pumpkin wrapper? Us. So now the Rangers rap to wake him up? All episode we were told he was gonna ripen and it was bad news. And they could have like stomped him now and oh whatever, who cares?
Trick or treat.
You're incomplete.
To the Power Rangers you can be.
All you are
It's pumpkin meat.
Oh, you Rangers make me mad, waking me up with a rap that bad. Well, you think that's something you can do? Well, I got some friends who'd like to meet you. Welcome to my pumpkin patch. Perhaps you'd like to play some catch.
I mean, sure this is silly, but you gotta admit, his raps are pretty cool. The pumpkin wrapper, and this episode by extension, remain one of the most infamous elements in Power Rangers history, specifically because the monster's rapping nature feels like the writers trying to be hip with the kids. There is actually very strong evidence for this, given the popularity of rappers like Snoop Doggy Dogg and Tupac around the time this episode first aired in May 1994.
Be the first one on your block to feel the mega pumpkin shock.
The Rangers are getting their butts handed to them by the pumpkin wrapper. Things are so dire, Tommy may just have to leave his karate match. The first time 2 different Rangers were pulled away from something important to them in the same episode. Kimberly from Trick or Treat, Tommy from his karate match. Could have saved everyone some time if Zordon had just told Tommy to smash the biggest pumpkin on the way to his karate match, but what do I know?
Hustle a pumpkin, squash brain.
Yeah! No Zord battle, 10 out of 10. In case you were wondering about the car prize situation, Network Standards and Practices noticed Skull was cheating on the world's easiest game show because Bulk mouthed a question obviously at him, so they lose the car. The end. This episode rules. It has everything that makes Power Rangers great, with a Halloween flavor. Nothing and everything makes sense. If you're looking for something cheesy and spooky to watch this month, you'll definitely want to go find this episode. Hasta la pumpkin, squash brains!